I lost 100 pounds, which is around 44 kgs. And I spoke about my journey in the previous video. So if you haven't watched that, go and take a look. I explain why I gained weight, how I gained weight, and what I did to lose the weight. In this video, I wanted to discuss the tips that I think would be useful on your journey. I tried everything. I tried the shakes, I tried the waist trainers, I tried fasting, I tried anything that you can think of. I probably tried. The only thing I didn't try is surgery, weight loss injections, slimming teas. I think those are probably the only things that I didn't try. Oh, and Weight Watchers and Slimming World. I didn't try any of those because I just didn't see the point. My first tip is you need to find someone that can help you on the journey. So on my journey, I got a trainer and I was accountable to him every single week. So he planned my nutrition as well as my workout plan. And every single week I would check in with him and go from there. I suggest that if you have been trying everything like I did, get someone that can help you or get onto a program that can help you. I personally have a weight loss program. On the program, we focus primarily on you changing your habits and knowing what to do to lose the fat. It's just drilling down on the fundamentals of losing weight and making sure that you change your habits to a more sustainable long-term weight loss journey. And then I release you to find an expert for your next goal. Because I truly believe that if you have a coach, get someone who understands where you are at. So if you want to lose body fat or anything like that, get someone who focuses primarily on that, because I feel like when you have too many things going on or reading a lot of things, you lose focus and you end up just doing everything based on what people say and suggest, and you actually don't stick to something long enough to see if it's working. So if you have a coach or if you join our program, then you are able to stick to something for a period of time to actually see the results that you're looking for. So that's my tip number one. Find someone that you are accountable to, work with someone that understands where you are at and can help you to get to your first goal. For me, it was fat loss. So I got a trainer to help me with that process. And now I also help other women, just like you, most likely, who want to lose weight. They don't care about being a fitness model. They don't care about, running a marathon. They don't care about all of that. Their primary goal right now is that they want to lose the fat. They want to wear a smaller dress size. They just want to feel good. They want to, as well as looking good. So that's predominantly my goal on my platform, which is the Fit and Fab Blueprint. Tip number two is to have non-negotiables. For me, during my weight loss journey, I had a non-negotiable of doing every single thing that I was supposed to do every single day. That was my non-negotiable. Even if I was supposed to walk for an hour, for example, if I couldn't walk for an hour, I still were my non-negotiable. So moving every day was a non-negotiable for me, and drinking water was a non-negotiable for me, and making sure that I did the exercises that I needed to do, non-negotiable, as well as consistently being in a deficit. If it meant that only eating what I was told to eat, that was it. That was my non-negotiable. So I kind of had quite a few of them. So implementing non-negotiables during your journey helps you to remain consistent, as well as getting to a point where you actually believe yourself that you are capable of doing something. A lot of the time when something seems hard at the beginning or seems undoable, if that's even a word, at the beginning, it's because we don't trust ourselves enough, and we haven't put ourselves in positions where we can trust ourselves enough to say that if you're going to do something, you're actually going to do it. Tip number three is consistency. You have to be consistent in order for you to see the results. Being consistent with your calorie deficit, being consistent with your movement, being consistent with a program, or being consistent with a coach will get you results. A lot of the time we want to start something and see the results immediately, you throw in the towel. By doing that, that means you're just going to keep starting and stopping, which means you're actually going to feel like you can't do it, or there's something wrong with you, or, I don't know, whatever the reason could be for you not getting the results. And that's because you're one, not actually in a calorie deficit, so you're not seeing the results, but you think you are, but you're not. Two, you keep chopping and changing. You start with this trainer, you stop. You then go with somebody else, you stop. You do something for 2 months, you stop. You do something for 1 week, you stop. How are you going to see any results? Because remember, you've been consistently overeating, which meant that you've been consistently gaining weight, right? You gaining weight didn't happen overnight. It's just the consistency of what you were doing that resulted in you gaining weight. So if you are going to consistently be in a calorie deficit, for example, you're going to gradually lose the weight because you didn't gain it overnight. So you can't expect to lose it overnight either. So we have to kind of put some logic behind the processes. I just consistently ate and overate. And when I started on the journey and I wasn't seeing the results week in, week out, like literally every week, I got really frustrated because I wanted to see the results. Now, it doesn't work like that. I'm just trying to give you an honest perspective of probably what's been happening because I've been there. I was 113 kgs. I didn't happen to be 113 kgs. It doesn't work like that. So you need to be honest with yourself. Once you're honest with yourself, follow tip number 1, follow tip number 2, and then remember tip number 3, which is be consistent. The results will come. Even if they don't show up every day, if you know that you've been true to yourself, you've been accountable to yourself every single day, the scales will catch up. The loss of inches will catch up. You just have to stick to your non-negotiables, stick to your plan, and keep going every single day. That's the way I lost the weight. Every single day, my body or my mind reset itself. Whatever I did yesterday, even if I did everything immaculate yesterday is gone. I have to try and redo that same thing in the current day. So on Monday, ate in my calorie deficit, stuck to my non-negotiable. Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday. I didn't then come to Saturday and start saying, wow, Monday to Friday, I was so good. So I am now going to treat myself and have a burger and chips and ice cream and just pig out the whole of Saturday and Sunday because I did so well on Monday to Friday. It doesn't work like that. What you're only doing by doing that is setting yourself up for disappointment and then feeling like nothing's moving or nothing's shifting. You have to be consistent every single day until you get to your goal. And I promise you that once you get to your goal, everything that you think that you have to eat or have to do or that you're missing out on, you will be able to eat it once you get to your goal. You just need to reverse where you're at to get to your goal. And then feel free to do whatever you want within reason, obviously, because you don't want to then go back to where you just came from. So I tell people on the program all the time, guys, stick with it, stay focused. Everything will come in its own time. But you can't keep wanting things and sticking to things that got you to a place where you're not happy with. You just have to be an adult about it, be accountable about it, and just get on with it, So once you're true to yourself, everything will follow. Once you're consistent, once you have your non-negotiables, and once you have the support that you need to get you to where you want to be. Okay? Tip number 5 is accountability. So with accountability, it's, for me, means a lot of things. It's being accountable to yourself, most of all, and then being accountable to whoever is providing you the support, right? So when I say accountable, you need to be accountable to what you are putting in your mouth. You need to be accountable to what you're doing on a daily basis. You need to be accountable to what your decisions are and be responsible about them. Okay? A lot of the time we want to say something's not working when the reality is that you're probably doing things that are contradicting where you want to be. Okay, so for example, you want to lose weight. You want to lose 10 kgs, for example. But the process that you're on requires you to be in a calorie deficit. If you are doing the right thing Monday to Friday, and then come Saturday and Sunday, you're not, and then you go into, and then you have your check-in or weigh-in or whatever you want to call it, and the scales haven't moved. You can't then say, I've done everything right, when you know you haven't. You need to be accountable to yourself and be honest with yourself, like, I messed up. I actually wasn't in a deficit because I did not count my calories. Right. The thing with calories for me and my journey is that counting calories is what made the biggest difference on my journey, because when people say you need to intuitively eat, I can only do that now because before, first of all, I didn't know how many calories were in the food that I was eating. So even if I had a small portion of, for example, lasagna, or even if I had 3 slices of pizza, those types of foods carry a lot of calories, and most of the time they don't satiate us, which means they just don't make us full. So we end up eating more of that food, which is very high in calories. So when people say you don't need to be counting your calories, you should just intuitively eat, most likely those people have not been big or have not had to lose a lot of weight, like myself at 113 kgs, which is what, 250 pounds. To be fair, if you're someone that's big, that means you subconsciously overeat. And you need to be in a deficit. And to be in a deficit is knowing the data of what you are putting into your mouth. It's not to scare you and say, oh, you need to be restricting and all of this stuff. That's not the case. It's just something for you to be aware of with what you're putting in your mouth. So if I'm eating bread and all of this stuff, nothing wrong with bread, nothing wrong with pasta. But if you're eating too much of it consistently, it's not really going to be helpful for your journey. And as much as people love to say that you can eat anything as long as you're below your calories, composition matters, guys. Composition matters, frequency matters. Trust me, I've been on the journey. 100 pounds. People are happy just losing 20 pounds. I lost 100 pounds. I lost a lot more than just 20 pounds. And trust me, I had to learn a lot during that process. And I'm just giving you tips that helped me and that have also helped a lot of other women that have been on our platform. So on the Fit and Fab Blueprint, there's like a cheat sheet where I teach you how to eat properly without feeling like you need to not eat a certain food group. So for example, if you're someone that loves your bread or loves your pasta, loves your rice, I actually teach you how to structure your food properly so that you don't end up binging all of this food at the end of the week. But we have to be smart about it. So we have to be accountable of what we are actually consuming. You can't just do things subconsciously and hope for the best. It doesn't work like that. We have to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. And honestly, you're not going to be perfect all the time, but don't be imperfect too often, more than you are perfect, if that makes sense. So don't be overeating more days or more times than you are in a deficit, because you're either just going to remain the same, which is being in maintenance, or you're just going to gain the weight. That's just the logic of losing weight and gaining weight. I mean, there's some nuances to it, but generally and broadly, if the scale's not moving after 2 to 3 weeks, you're not in a deficit. That's just it. So you need to reevaluate what you're eating and how you're eating. Okay, so those are my tips. And I'm actually going to give you a bonus tip. And that bonus tip is that you have to motivate yourself. You cannot look for someone outside who's not in your position, who doesn't feel your pain, doesn't feel your dislike, to motivate you to do the right thing. So, I mean, on the Fit and Fab Blueprint, we do have a group where all the ladies, it's like a community where people are discussing their challenges, their wins and all of that, sharing their journeys, sharing what they're eating and all of that. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be in that group 24/7. You're just going to be with yourself. You're going to be making those decisions by yourself. You're going to motivate yourself to put on your trainers and go outside and work out. You're going to have to motivate yourself to not put that cookie in your mouth or to not put your kids' leftovers in your mouth. You're just going to have to be accountable, again, with yourself, but overall, you just have to be your own motivator, despite who's with you on the journey. I cannot stress that enough. When I had my trainer, there was no support group. There was none of that. He gave you your meal plan. He gave you your training plan. That was it. The next time I spoke to him was at check-in. That was it. I didn't have any other communication with him, but I just knew that I'm not paying him to wake me up. I'm not paying him for all of that stuff. I have to do it myself. I paid for the information that I got, and now I just have to implement it, whether or not that person is there. And I need you guys to move away from having to be in like a social group or anything like that to get you your results. Those people are not there when you're putting on clothes and you don't feel confident. People are not there when you need to travel or you need to go to an event and you don't feel confident. People are not there when you have to go to the doctors and have a checkup because you're getting a lot of heartburn or you need sleeping medication or all of that. People are not there. So you need to make the decisions every single day for yourself and make sure that you're ticking off what you need to do to get you to where you need to be. I really hope that these tips are something that you guys internalize and own and run with, because that's the only way you're going to get results. That's the only way you're going to see a significant difference if you actually put in the work. A lot of the time we want the miracle pill, the miracle injection, the miracle this, but you still need to put in the work even with those things, right? You still need to make an effort of eating right. You still need to make an effort of moving correctly. So let's just do the work. It's only a few, maybe an hour or two out of your day that you're going to be spending sitting or sleeping. You might as well get up and make the most of that time. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Watch the last video that I put out, which is my story on weight loss, and then implement the tips that I've given you in this video. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I'm going to be bringing out more videos. If you do have any questions, make sure you put them in the comment section down below. Please do like, comment, and subscribe as always. Also follow me on Instagram. And by the way, I do have resources, so make sure that you check the description box. Join the mailing list if you want to be part of Fit and Fab. Join the mailing list, get all the information, visit the website, which is myfitfab.co.uk. Go and read other people's testimonials, go and see other people's pictures, follow us on Instagram. So that's it from today. I'll see you guys in the next video.